Good morning. Good morning. All space cadets out there. Is everyone groovy this morning? Like an old time movie? Shit, I dropped that one. Anyway, it's not lucky one. Speaking of luck, man, you know, of all the soldiers out there in the field that we lost, I always got to take a second, you know, just to think about my fallen friends out there. And this guy I'm going to tell you a little story about was real close to me. He was someone who looked up to me like a brother. The dude's name's Little G. Little G, man, he had heart. That cat was like anybody else, but better. He knew how to get around people, and he was smarter than shit. He was something else. I get choked up, of course, you know. So this cat, he was in the grade below me, like I said, and he was in and out of prison his whole life. Now, with my shit, I ended up catching charges when I was 17 and stuff, around 97. So when I was looking at 10 to life. And he was fully tatted, you know what I mean? Like, little, yeah, called him Little G. The thing about him, man, he was so close, it ripped my heart out whenever he didn't show up. You know what happened to him. I see all these Black Lives Matter shit up at my Collin County jail. Man, he was one of the first people that died in that jail. And I heard the jailer quit his job after that. Yeah, I miss that guy. So, in all positivity, I gotta bring it to you live, like he always was. I mean, that cat was bouncing off walls. He had an extra motor, an extra engine in him. You know, you kick in the drive or overdrive, and I gotta say he was on the level. You know, he was just as old as I was, pretty much, because I was held back, and he was, you know, normal. But yeah, as in size, he was little too. Stocky though, from prison, and I think I met him probably in fifth or sixth grade. That's when he had did his first bid when he was young. I didn't meet him in juvie. How about that? So this cat, he was caught with a bunch of shit back in the day. Yeah, that whole school laced up. I mean, like, everybody was tripping, and all my friends know it. You know, we were an entire grade that experienced drugs together, and that's kind of what led to 97. That's another story, though. So, homie was doing good. You know, he got locked up for that little thing, and then he got out. I don't know if that's when he started his tats. Yeah, he might have had a few then. And that's what made me get a tattoo out in California. So this cat was live, like I said, and I was always with my homie Manuel. Manuel was, my roommate and whatnot back in high school. Ended up, we had this one, custo that was probably one of our best guys. Dude owned a car lot, and he would lease out these fucking Lamborghinis, Ferraris, all the top notch cars and whatnot. And we would see this cat like every day, you know what I mean? So he was on our back then we were on pagers, we didn't have these cell phones, but he was one of the top 10, you know what I mean? And what happened was dude was actually lucky as hell, and I'll get back to that point in the story. So I was chilling at our pad, right, and we were about to go out for a rave, one of the Hazy Days spots, probably. Who knows? Might have been Purple Dimension. And just going through orders for the night and trying to take and reach all the stops we had to go to, and whatnot. And dude called this fool. And I had already kind of heard there were some other parties going on that night, and one of them was over by this golf course and stuff. So it kind of I think somehow they had gotten wind. Little G had gotten wind about the car lot. I don't know if he had seen it once before. But they used to keep all their keys on the lockbox, in the office and shit. So it's getting late. I didn't end up rolling out to that party where all my friends were at, but we were all going to meet up at a rave party later on. Anyway, so what had happened was that whole party got bored. I guess they ran out of beer, whatnot. So I don't even remember. It was this one cat's house that they were all at. Carl was out there. Yeah, and please like, comment, subscribe if you're into this kind of genre. This is just some of my wild ass stories before I head off to work this morning. I hope everyone's doing good out there. So little G had ended up hitting me up on my pager, and I was like, Manny, let me use the phone. He's on the phone talking to that fool with the car lot. And I used someone's cell phone or something. It was early days of cell phones. I call up little G, and he's like, yo, we're all rolling out. We got a bunch of whips. You happen to know any chop shops or anything? I got 4 Jettas. Let's see, what else did they get? A Corvette, I think a Ferrari. And yeah, I remember it. An Acura. All these whips, right? So The funniest story about it is at the same time, that's when Fool's getting a call, saying from a security company saying that, oh, uh, we ended up uh, getting a break in and someone stole all the lockbox keys, or all the keys out of the lockbox, and uh, he's freaking out, right? And he still wants us to stop by, but we're gonna work out something now because I tap my homie on the shoulder and I'm sitting there like, "Hey, dude, we got a kind of a predicament, but if we play our cards right, we'll get a little finder's fee for this." And so he clicks back over with, dude. I call uh, up little G. I'm like, "Hey, man, that's one of our peoples." And it even took a little time to get back one or two of the cars too, but we worked out a nice deal. Homie got his all his cars delivered to the lot that night, right? And it was hysterical because they had rolled around in that Jetta for weeks after that too. I don't know if that car ever made it back to the lot. But yeah, G, my little homie, and stuff would go on and on over the years. But I was sorry to see him go. He was one of the first people that died in that jail, though, up in Collin County, where they're doing all those protests and stuff. So, yeah, what had happened was he got hit with another bid and just wasn't gonna face this one. He had hung himself, and they were supposed to keep him on suicide watch. They didn't, and the jailer, though, he quit his job after that. I know that. But I miss that. I miss that cat all the time. I got live ass stories about. I mean, his brother owned a club down here over off one of the streets here in Dallas, where all the college kids go and whatnot. And we had many years though that we were part of a crew and just doing things and living life, to the extreme. It all catch up with us though. It always does, that kind of life. I never have nothing to show for it or nothing I'd want to tell my wife about. Oh man. But yeah, I need to get some coffee in me. I decided to drop a little sweet story about some of the memories I had. I got another Christmas story about little G too. I'll tell you about it. It must have been around New Year's or Christmas that we had a really eventful party. It was one of his, real quick, I'll just drop this. His dad had thrown a party, and he was a builder for Starwood, which was one of the big gated communities that all the cowboys live in and stuff. It's one of the nicer houses. He had built nicer houses, some around my house, here in Dallas too. And upper echelon of builders, kind of something that I aspire to become. I'm still learning though. I know all the plumbing and all the other trade skills. But we were over at his house up in Starwood. He had just built this brand new $1 million crib that we were in. Damn, we had some parties there too. But this one was a night that he was having all of his friends over. ended up having to bartend for him, and we made out like a bandit. I tell you, I remember me and Lil G sitting behind the bar, pouring up these rum and cokes, Jack and Cokes, and of course, having drinks of our own all night, and somehow I'd wound up with a badass date too. I don't know how I told her this chick. She was over at this restaurant that I was working at, and she was the hostess or something. I invited her to that party last minute, and she happened to live in my same neighborhood that my parents lived in up in Plano, but she was a dime piece for real. I had a great night. We were behind the bar. Christmas time, the house was decked with candle lighting, and it was full of people, warm, conversations and good spirits, good times. One thing with that family, they know how to party. They used to live next to Rodman, or dock their boat next to Rodman up in Texoma. So I even broke one of their Sea-Doos once. Me and my pal came in. I was on a 3D Sea-Doo, and my buddy Capo from New York was on the back, and Garrett was on this little one-man Sea-Doo. He'd come flying over Little G and like spray us, and I tried to do that maneuver with the 3-man Sea-Doo. Those things don't turn as fast, so I ended up busting 2 Sea-Doos, and I wasn't invited back to that lake house. Tell you that much after that. But Little G's dad was cool though. That family was all right. They're still out there, and if any of them see this, shells, love y'all. Ended up being a real good Facebook friend and pal to his older brother that had the bar later in life. Corey's the man. But yeah, that's a story about the car lot. The car lot that disappeared one night and magically reappeared. The stroke of genius. And we didn't have to send any of those cars to the chop shop. He got his nice little Ferrari and shit back. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe. I didn't want to lay too much down about Little G, but I sure miss that cat sometimes. Anyhow, peace.